What do you think about Dragon Ball Daima today?
I live at the start of the podcast. Wait a minute.
Sorry, go ahead.
Doing things all backwards. Hello, Harold. Whoa. Jeez, I just had a slur there. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Anime4ALL podcast. I guess we can talk
Hey,
about.
you count me as part of everybody, right? You're saying hello to me, so I'm saying hello back.
No, I was about to get to that point. You can introduce yourself. I'm not gonna take that away from you.
I just want to say hello to someone. It's rude not to say hello back if they say hello. You said hello, everybody. I'm part of everybody.
I must have completely lost track of what I was talking about there. I caught what you said,
You said
and then my
hello,
brain
hello.
literally stopped.
You said hello, everybody.
Yeah, welcome to the next. Welcome to another episode of the Anime4ALL podcast, America's favorite No, we're not. We're not. I'm not gonna pull that card. It'll be interesting. We were America's favorite podcast. I highly doubt that we are. I highly doubt anybody knows who we are, except for that one person in Brazil. Uh, so you asked about. I guess we could before we top and jump into actually what's here, which is the Rurouni Kenshin. You asked what I thought about the episode of Daima. It was horrible. No, just kidding. I mean, interesting world building. I will say that I like that. It's very Dragon Ball forward. It is not ashamed to tell you where this show started.
It does feel like they wanted to make more episodes of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I like the so far. It's really sticking that whole the demon realm is actually just as normal as anything else. Uh, thing that I notice is there.
You see little flashes of adult Goku and some of the stuff that Goku does, like some of his fighting styles and stuff like that. He's fighting like a little bit like adult Goku instead of like Goku from Dragon Ball.
Well, I don't think he can do. He can, you know. Well, I mean, he's still got a lot of everything that he's learned. The only thing that's different is just his body size. And I guess
Body
what
size,
over. Hmm?
body size doesn't matter. His power seems greatly decreased too.
Well, I don't
And
know. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really seen any hints of that myself. Maybe
like
like
flying in the air and feeling like the air was heavy. Like I feel like regular Goku flies in places where the gravity is 10 times gravity and stuff like that.
I mean, this might be one of those situations where the air is like 10 times gravity. Because I mean, he is in a world that he isn't familiar with. I mean, I could see him having problem even as an adult here. Though I mean, he probably wouldn't have problems with it for long. I'll say that much. But I guess there's really not much you can do when like the air is literally trying to keep you down. Though Glorio doesn't seem to have any problems with it. He seems quite capable. I guess one thing I will say about him is like every episode I'm getting more and more suspicious of him.
So, what makes you think that he's any stronger than, say, Yamcha?
Is Yamcha really a bar we want to use here?
In this case, yeah, because Yamcha is way stronger than the average person.
Well,
I
for
don't
one,
think
he isn't. For one, he isn't being truthful about everything that he's a part of. I'm still very suspicious of this guy. He shouldn't be in my honest opinion, if he really is just as what he says is he's just a guy that was sent to go pick up Goku. I don't think he should be able to fly. Um and if he is able to fly, he shouldn't be as like comfortable flying, even if it is that the uses a lot of stamina to fly. 'Cause he's doing a lot of things in my honest opinion that he shouldn't be doing if he's just as weak as Yamcha.
like what
Those his fighting. I know you don't buy that those monsters are strong. I just don't understand. He seems to know his way around a punch.
let's say that flying fireball monster was as strong as a dinosaur. Yamcha could totally take a dinosaur.
You don't think there's more to him? Like I feel like he's hiding a lot. He doesn't seem to be answering a lot of questions. He just seems to use one word answers. And then when he needs to explain something, he'll explain it. He doesn't
Right.
seem to be something's off about him. He should not be, in my honest opinion, he should not be as skilled. I mean, I know you probably think he should be as this skilled. I don't know. Something's off about him. He shouldn't like a guy who uses a gun shouldn't be able to throw a punch. I'm sorry. I know that probably doesn't make any sense to you, but like I honestly thought he only had one skill, which was to shoot that gun, because that gun was really useful. But so far, after his encounter with the people, I mean those monsters out there, he's been showing that he's capable of throwing a punch. Granted, I will say he also doesn't know ki or how to use ki. Though maybe that's a lie. I don't know. Because like on top of that, he seems to be quite skilled at lying and also being able to tell when he's being lied to.
He can't sense ki.
Yeah, I know, but he can still like what he can't sense capable. I'm saying like something's off about him. I'm not sure what it is. Something is off about him, and I don't exactly trust him. I know that's the point of him. I feel like he's stronger than he's letting on. I'm not gonna sit there and say he's strong as Goku, but he's always stronger than he's letting on. I would say maybe he could be as strong as Piccolo. Like, I'm not sure which version of Piccolo I would use as like a catalyst, but like I will go. It's like where we are in the storyline. Post Kami fusion, I would say he's probably, and I mean like right as they fuse, not much later when Piccolo trains and whatnot. Like, but like post Kami fused, like he's that strong right now. That's my suspicion. Now, I could be wrong, but he's giving off vibes that he's hiding something, that he's doing, that there's a lot more to him than he's like letting on. I don't think he's being 100% forthright. And Supreme Kai believes that because he keeps on looking at him like, I don't trust you. Though I will sit there and say, I will be the first to admit, Supreme Kai doesn't have a good track record of trusting people and not trusting people, or knowing who's strong and whatnot. So I'm gonna take Supreme Kai's suspicions with a grain of salt, but something's off about Glorio. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Also, which is weird, is that Glorio is being added as a playable character in Sparking Zero. It seems like an odd thing. I can see Mini Vegeta, but Glorio, I don't understand why they would add him. I don't know, like, and I'm not sure when they're adding him, but like, something's off. I'm sorry, something's off. I don't get it. I don't buy it. I'm not buying what he's selling. I mean, just because he's capable of taking out a couple of weak monsters doesn't really mean he's displaying his full strength. I just want to point that out too. None of the monsters seem to scare him or surprise him. Like he's beat these guys before. I know you don't think he's all that strong. I just something's not right.
I think I think he could very well turn out to be very powerful, but I think right now the most we know about him is he's like Yamcha level like strong. Like that's based on the information that we have right now, without like conjecture. I think that's what we know, that he's Yamcha level strong.
I'm using what I've seen of him. If we're like something's not right, I don't really have any proof, but something's not right. I don't understand. Um, he's being sent by the Demon King. That much I buy. But everything else he's selling, I don't, because he's capable. Because like, so far this episode, and I think in the last episode too, they're letting us know that he's capable of detecting a lie. I don't understand why we've seen that twice now. That doesn't make any sense. At least the one time, like, okay, it's funny because he managed to get the room rent lowered, but again, like, he's being deceptive. Again, something's not right. Like, it's not right with him. They're showing they're showing that's something that he is a skill that he has, which tells me that he can lie. And he can easily do it. He can do it. He can do it without blinking an eye. Like, I mean, yeah, he could be like Yamcha level strong, and that's about it. And I'm just detecting a lot of BS. I don't know, but it's just I've never had so many red flags go off around a character that I know nothing about until this character.
Another thing that he might not be that strong is that he uses guns.
He doesn't really use it beyond the one time he uses it. By the way, I just want to point that out. He only
But
uses it once.
he carries them around and he's used it. So
He's only used it once though.
okay, he's only been in a significant fight once too.
I don't think those guys, those like wandering bandits, were a significant fight. And maybe the bar fight, maybe, but I don't think those guys that they ran into when they first got to the third world were a significant fight. Now I might be wrong about that. I don't know. It's just I don't.
He didn't even get up from the table during the bar fight. Goku just took care of it.
No, he dealt with one of them.
Oh, did
He splashed some. He splashed his drink and knocked him out. I know it's
oh,
just one, and Goku took care of the rest of them, but still, it's just. I know you're probably thinking I'm being overly cautious about a character we know nothing about. I watch too many anime. I trusted characters only for them to backstab me. I ain't doing it with him. Like it might be discriminatory because the way he looks, but it's just I don't trust him. Something's not right. So I don't know. I know you're probably wondering what I don't like. What is it not right? I don't know. There is. I'm getting red flags, and I don't completely know where they're coming from. Like it. I look at him and I find it really hard to trust him. It's like I like something about everything that's going on. Somebody brought up an interesting point that like how does he know how does he know that Goku and everybody else got shrunk to little kid form? I don't even think he even should know what they look like, yet he somehow managed to find them on his first go. At least I believe that was his first go when he showed up out of nowhere in the middle on top of Bulma's house. Um,
was it just a plot convenience that it was like Toriyama forgot to like fill in that plot hole?
Maybe, but I'm telling you, I really that something is off, and I'll swallow it if nothing's off with him. But it's just like it's not. I don't even think that's a part of like why I feel he's way too he's way too convenient. He's really easy. Now, granted, he's a mercenary based on whatever he's told because he's thought he does this and that. That's a talk of a mercenary, but even with that knowledge, I mean, that's what he is. Just again, you don't trust mercenaries. You know, they'll backstab you anytime, any chance they get. He doesn't like answering questions. Uh, he seems way too comfortable with like letting Goku get tight the reins with the Dragon Balls because he's like, he just tells him everything with the Dragon Balls. Like, why don't you tell us something about yourself? For crying out loud. I get that he's not like obligated to do that, but at the same time, it's like, a little bit of information about you would gain a little bit of trust from me and go a long way. Goku is too trustworthy. Supreme Kai is way too suspicious. And I'm more willing to lead and give Supreme Kai the benefit of the doubt this time around. Um, especially because his brother is involved, but it's just, Actually, on top of that, the people of the Demon Realm, they have to, like, give money or lose some of their life, right? Because they have that life ring. Where's Glorio's life ring? Like, shouldn't he have one?
You mean the collar thing?
Yeah.
Gloria wasn't part of that village. We haven't seen anyone outside of that village wearing one.
But Goma rules the entirety of the Demon Realm. Like, I think everybody would have to pay it. Would
I
they?
haven't seen that. I haven't seen that ring worn by anybody else in the previous episodes or anything. I've never noticed a ring on everybody's neck.
I guess, like, why are you willing to give him the benefit of the doubt? Why aren't you suspicious?
I don't know. Nothing about it makes me feel suspicious.
I just don't trust him. I really don't. And I know this is probably going to be the whole me and the stupid robot talking motorcycle thing again. I will drop my suspicions of Gloria if he proves that he actually is a good guy. I just he like he's not telling us anything about himself, and that's what I don't like. At least like give us a little bit of something, even if it's past your name, like maybe where you're from, type of thing. Like, or like, why does the king want to see Goku so badly? That's the other thing I don't completely understand. I don't know how the king of the third demon realm even knows about Goku. That's the weirdest thing. Then again, there is that in the intro, there's a screen selection of Deborah, um, with his arms crossed, with his back to somebody that looks like him, but it's like a fatter version of him. I'm guessing that might be his father. I don't know. I don't know if was it ever explained if Deborah's father was dead? Because he was the king prior to Deborah, and I
Deborah's
assume
father.
yeah, Deborah's father.
I assume that the king dies and leaves the prince, like the oldest prince, becomes king. So I would imagine that Deborah being king means his father is dead. Kings don't have living fathers.
So who the heck is the? There's a in the intro. There's a screen of a fatter version of Deborah right next to him. Does that mean Deborah has a brother we don't know anything about?
He could very well have a brother.
Oh, but back to my question. I just don't like. I have suspicions. I don't. And it might just be I don't want to trust characters that I don't know anything about. And maybe that's really what it comes down to. Until I know something about him more than I just do this and that. It's like I don't trust you. You're way too lax for a dude who's supposed to be on an errand pretty much for whoever this guy is. I would say you knowing what the Dragon Balls are also suspicious, but apparently everybody in the Demon Realm knows where they are.
Yeah,
So
they're not hidden or anything. They're right out in the open with those guards on them.
I was gonna say I would be suspicious of you for that if I didn't know those Dragon Balls are already common knowledge. I don't know. I just don't. I like the episode. I like everything that's going on. I mean, I also like the fact that I think her name is doesn't really give. They don't give the name, but I happened to overhear a name from some video I was watching. I think her name's supposed to be Pantsu. I think is her name, Pansy, or something like that. The girl
Yeah,
that shows up at the end of the episode. The one that's pretty much gonna be a stand-in in Bulma until Bulma gets here. Um, discount Bulma. Where did I say that? I wonder if discount Bulma is better. Is just as good as a regular Bulma. Eh. Um,
probably not.
I mean, based on that information, yeah. I mean, I would. It'd be funny, but well, I guess based on the fact that her smoke bomb, her mustard bomb, didn't do anything. It actually went up in smoke, which is ironic because that was the whole point of that thing. But she apparently didn't make it well enough. I'm guessing. Uh,
What do you think of that machine that can suck years of your life out of you?
Gomez is an evil bastard. I guess it explains why. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just realized something. In I think episode one, Goma brings up that he decided to. He was pretty much bribing Neva, the old Namekian, with like 1,000 years of his life if he like helped him get the Dragon Balls. If no one else had the rings, how was he planning to give Neva the life he had promised? I mean, maybe there's another way to do it, but that's suspicious. Not suspicious, but weird.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
In the first episode, um, Goma promised to give like Neva, the old Namekian, 1,000 years of life if he helped him get the Dragon Balls. And you said that you haven't noticed any of the rings on anybody, and I don't see it on him. How is he planning to give him the life? Because they used the machine to take it out of them. How did he give life to people?
Can I put it back in somebody?
Huh?
That blue goop. See, that blue goop that comes out of that goes into the machine when they suck people's life out. Can they use that to put that back in somebody and restore, like, give them extra life?
Well, if they were using it, if that machine was how to give the life, Neva doesn't have a ring on him. I'm actually looking at an image of him. Maybe there's another image of him somewhere. There's nothing in the gallery of him, so not much seen of him. How is he planning to? How is he planning to? Huh? Maybe Neva's got like some of the apparatus we don't know about. Why does that say Neba here? But we got Neva up here. That doesn't seem like a regional thing. Also, the show hasn't been dubbed yet. Is that a subtitle thing? What in the world? Okay, I thought it was cruel. It was really cruel considering that an old man was begging to pay them later, and they said nope, not having it. They're paying us now. Uh, and I suspected he died later. I suspect. Or did they get to him? Like, kind of Goku got interrupted and fought everybody. I don't remember. Yeah, that was a. It was an interesting episode nonetheless. I don't know what's ultimately going to happen later in the show, but we're definitely seeing that it seems like I wonder, like, was the life thing instituted after Deborah was killed, or And actually, how long has it been since Deborah's dead? He found that Deborah was dead and going found out that he was the king. Because that would take a long time to, well, no, because like based on the information that they gave to the villagers, they seemed like that was a new thing they instituted, where they had to give more gold. It just sucks. Which, haha, pun uh intended, based on the machine. I mean, what do you think of it? Do you think it was cruel or unusual punishment?
Um, yeah. Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I was just asking. I mean, you asked me. I was like, why wouldn't it be? I had no witty retort. Okay, I guess with that
Sorry.
we're just gonna talk about Rurouni Kenshin
See,
here.
when
Hmm?
I watched the I watched the closing credits, and Vegeta and Piccolo are with the others in the closing credits and some of the still shots.
What do you mean? Like they just got there?
Like they're in there, like in the group. That new character that came in today, who you said sounded like Pants or something like Pantsu.
Well, the name I was getting was I think I was saying it was Pantsy or Pantsu. It was one of the two.
It makes sense that they're if she's a discount Bulma, Bulma briefs Pantsu. But no, you have like one of those flying seed things with Goku and Pantsu on it, Piccolo and Vegeta and Shin flying alongside it, and then the other guy, the blue guy, in his little like spaceship slash plane, flying alongside them on the other side. That's just one image. There's other images too that came up in the closing credits that like show Vegeta and Piccolo involved, and that girl becoming a main character.
Was she the only one? 'Cause I know she was a character that was being seen everywhere, but we didn't know where she was gonna come in.
And there's another one that with Pantsu, you see Bulma with Pantsu at one point too.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was like, huh, that's interesting. I had assumed
So
that that girl was gonna be an inventor, but I wasn't aware what context she was gonna be an inventor on.
I want to know what like how they came over here though.
The oh, you talking about because there's no way they could have gotten there about the code. Um,
Yeah,
I'm gonna just pull this out of my butt. So bear with me. This might stink. Um, so I'm gonna. This is also gonna take a character you like. So just bear with me as I do this. What are the chances? And I mean, what are the chances? Actually, I got two. I just came up with two. I'm gonna go with the one that's stupid first. What are the chances that Piccolo might know the code?
why would he?
Why wouldn't he?
Why would he?
He's from there. There's always a chance that like I mean, just because here's my thing. Just because King Piccolo, the Piccolo that he came from, as much as we know, spent a lot of time on Earth, and when he split into two, he split into Kami and then Evil Piccolo. That doesn't mean that none of those two did not have the code to get out because we know they all got out. That's why they're planting Namek in the middle of the space time continuum. Not space time continuum, but in the middle of space.
Even
That Namek should not be there.
Shin didn't even know the code.
Well, Shin comes from a different part of the demon realm. So the rich part apparently, I think it was like demon realm number 2. Um, I think that was a code for demon realm number 3. And I suspect that I think the Namekians lived in demon realm number 3, though there is nothing to support this theory. But something tells me that it must be. Because I don't know why the Namekians would be living in the first demon realm. Because I think that's where Goma is. If number 2 is where Shin's kind comes from, and they're supposed to be like royalty, I don't suspect the Namekians fit that that vibe of having money or whatever like that, being rich. Like that is my suspicion that they must come from the Demon Realm number 3. I can't think of a reason why they would not why they would come from Demon Realm number 1, but there could be a reason why they come from there. I don't know. But actually, here's my other you know this is probably gonna cause more plot holes than fix anything. But bear with me because Akira ain't here anymore. The man's up in the sky. Um, what are the chances that like the Warp Sama just happens to take a peek at Piccolo, because I'm pretty sure Piccolo's going to be in there in that ship. Um, he takes a peek at Piccolo, and for whatever reason, he might recognize him. It might be that I'm gonna have to use my junior because that's what his name is. My junior's clone actually knew Warp Sama for some really dumb reason, and maybe he was afraid of him or something like that. And he just opens up the gateway. I know it did. None of these work.
Not a lot.
And the only other, well, they gotta use Warp Sama because there's no other way in there. Um, because the gateway that allowed them to travel through all 3 worlds has been covered in a shield of light anyway. Um, I wonder, does Kabuto come from there too, or is Kabuto's ears round?
Kabuto Kai?
No, Kabuto, because Kabuto Kai is Supreme Kai and Kabuto together. No, Kabuto has pointy ears, though they're not as pointy as No, Kabuto has pointy ears, so I guess he's from the same. He is from there. Hey, whatever happened to Elder Kai? In case you wonder what I'm talking about, the old man that woke up Gohan's latent potential.
Oh, whatever happened to him?
Yeah,
I think he's just chilling on the Kai planet still.
maybe he would know, because I mean, he has a lot of information that no one else knew. He's
That
been around.
assumes that
Hmm?
this all assumes that the pin hasn't been changed in thousands of years.
Well, actually, that whole pin thing, apparently that's just comes when you put in an application. So they were just using the pin for the application they had put in. Um,
Hey,
hmm,
can you hang out? I need to use the restroom really quick. I'll be right
hang up.
back.
What? Oh, okay.
I need to use the restroom really quick. I'll be right back.
Um, gonna play some lovely music as we wait. Wish I had the elevator music. This would be a perfect place to play it. Um, well, BRB.
Thanks. Sorry about that. I said thanks. Sorry about that.
And we're back from that break. That smooth jazz. I guess that was smooth jazz. That wasn't really jazzy. I guess we could talk about Dragon Ball Diamond for a while here. We can switch back to it. We'll just talk about what's going on with Rurouni Kenshin here.
Okay.
Really quick. I guess basically not really much happened this episode, which is probably what led to that episode, that discussion. But we pick back up with Kenshin at the end of here, with his like talk with Shishio and him taking out Senkaku. Also, I guess we didn't bring this up, but like, what do you think of Senkaku's head shape?
He's a cone head.
Is that a real thing?
He comes from France.
I think there's a joke I'm missing. Hold up 1 minute.
There's a movie called The Coneheads.
No, I see that and know that. But I was like, trying to figure, is that a real head shape that can actually happen to somebody? Or did they just take liberties?
I feel like they took liberties, but you can check on that.
Oh dear. So apparently, this can happen in newborn babies. Apparently,
I know I know newborn babies can have misshapen heads and they have to wear a helmet. Like Grayson had to wear a helmet for a while as a baby. He had to wear it for like 6 months to round out his skull basically.
a baby's head can take on a cone shape during birth due to the pressure of passing through the birth canal. This is because a newborn's skull is made up of several soft bones that can mold easily. This condition is called caput succedaneum. I'm mad that up here that there's also just interventions. If the cone head, if the cone shape doesn't resolve on its own, as pediatrician can provide more information. I'm like, I don't like the term intervention for that, but okay. You know what? Would that, what? I'm going off another tangent here before we return to Rurouni Kitchen. What would that do to a like a? If you could remember what it was like coming out of there, what would that do to like a person's mind and psyche? Like remembering the harrowing journey from womb to life. Like, would you be the same after that? Like, if you had memories of that, which I know it's not possible, but still, it's just
I wonder if it hurts
to remember that.
when the skull gets misshapen like that. If it hurts or not.
This is something when it was like soft tissue, so I don't think it hurts. Cause it's just like because of the skull has soft tissue there. They say it's usually nothing to worry about. Apparently, it's just common because of like coming out of there.
You still reading?
I'm just look, dear God. Um, I'm also trying not to laugh. I like that. It's a really hard thing to fight because I'm like as I'm reading, like my brain's trying to like the serious side is like don't laugh, like but it's like I can't help it, like fighting back and forth here. All right, primacy tell person, just thought process and all. Um, yeah, never did talk about Senkaku's head, but not really much to talk about there. His head, I guess, was shaped like that because of the helmet that he had on his head. But yeah, Senkaku does his ultimate technique, causes Kenshin to reveal, I guess, a very simplistic attack for Shishio to examine, and Kenshin like just draws his sword and says, pretty much on guard to Shishio. Shishio says he doesn't, he never intended to fight Kenshin here, which is like, okay, well that makes sense. Kenshin just wanted to fight him, and Shishio said, nope, not happening. But that was interesting. Just trying to flow through here. But yeah. I find it interesting that Misa doesn't really know much about Kenshin, but she's trying to stop Kenshin from getting into a fight with him. And ends up getting hit with his sword aura, and then she just falls to her feet. Well, falls to her butt.
But the other guy doesn't like move at all.
Yeah, I should bring that up too. Apparently, Saito has been hitting this kid with his sword aura the entire time. I thought that was funny. Because it's like,
Yeah,
wait, he wasn't. I haven't seen you move. How are you hitting him with your sword aura? But yeah, the kid's like, Shisha promised, six his, I guess, his guard dog, which is the kid on Kenshin. But it's like, Kenshin tries to hit him with a sword aura, and apparently he doesn't phase him. And Saito says that won't work because I've been hitting him with it the entire time. I've entered the room. I'm like, excuse me? How fast is it to? How fast are you outputting your sword aura? And did you stop? But we're gonna see Shield Six's guard dog on him. I should probably learn his name now that he's in a fight with Kenshin, but I don't know his name.
I don't know his name either. I've been trying to read it. I'm rewatching the episode right now.
Let me know when you get his name, because I'm pretty sure you'll get to it first before I do. If his
He's
name even
very,
comes up. Hmm?
he's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean his whole backstory though. You only got a little bit of his. Apparently, he was traumatized as a very young kid, and it caused him, I guess, to shed his emotions for the most part. Like he doesn't have any, which is what makes hitting him with a sword aura almost
Except
impossible
for
and doesn't
joy.
do anything. Hmm?
Except for joy.
He says he can experience joy.
He can only experience joy.
All right. Well, that's why he's always smiling, creepily. Um, but he hits him with the sword, or like, so he experienced something
Sojiro.
when he was really young, huh?
Sojiro.
Sojiro? Okay, Sojiro experienced something when he was really young, and it caused him to pretty much shed all his emotions but joy, or make it so he can only feel joy. That's probably a better way to put it. So I don't know what happened to him. Um, but apparently, now this word Tinkin was brought up, and it has something to do with. I think apparently Tinkin is compatible with the sword technique that. 1 minute. I want to make sure that I say this right. Wait. Okay, so Tennikin is his sword style. Is what's is the thing that Sojiro uses. Okay. I don't know what that name was, Tennikin. But so Shisho makes mention, that his like I guess his Tennikin is compatible with, Kenshin's Ryose, I think it is. Hold on, let me. Essentially, these two have like a sword, I guess a sword clash, with them drawing their swords at the same time. Apparently, Sojiro can draw a sword almost just as fast or faster than Kenshin. This is what it seems like, but then we see that both swords take a heavy hit. I wonder if Sojiro has his own sword because he was using Shisho's blade.
The blade that got damaged was apparently like legendaries, like legendary quality.
That's what they all say. No, just kidding. Yeah, I could believe that considering who Shishio is. But essentially, they clash at the same time with their swords, and it causes Kenshin's blade to break at the tip, and that shocks Kenshin as he's clearly he wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, not at all.
And only after a little bit, Saito brings to mention that like, oh no, you didn't get out of this unscathed. This was a draw, and then like Shishio's blade just brittles. I was like, jeez. Kenshin didn't even like the way, at least when I can tell, with the way Kenshin hit his sword, it wasn't like a one. It wasn't like a one sweep through. It was like a move that was like the move like had a follow through. So basically, the vibration like literally went through the entire sword, and apparently Shoujo didn't feel it, but the sword did, and it just went brittles and like it went limp. It's like, ha! I won! Woo! Sword just like she's just got to get another blade. Though I don't like later on we see that I don't think Shisho really cares all that much. I think he seemed really interested that Kenshin was capable of doing that.
Yeah. The kid wants to kill the Conehead with a broken down sword too. Kind of an interesting parallel there.
At least not the other kids. Sorry, I'm getting kids mixed up. Shoujo, we already gave a name to him.
Yeah, I forget the other kid's name.
I think it's Ein or something. Ian. We'll get to that in a minute.
But
But,
he has a broken and battered sword from his brother.
but that wasn't that Senkaku that killed him.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make sure because I was almost gonna say, did Shoujo do that? But no, Shoujo didn't do that.
Conehead guy did it.
Yeah, Senkaku. Or is it Kinkaku? I forgot the guy's name. It doesn't really matter anymore. He's gone. Because Saito wants to go and torture him. But like Sojiro promises bye to Kenshin and then he bolts off. Well, before he bolts off though, Senkaku's men find us and said, "What are we gonna do now?" And he's like, "Well, if you just wait here, I'll go and talk to Shisho about it." And I thought I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. Why would he tell them the way here? But I didn't. I wasn't thinking that Saito was still there and he's a cop, so they got arrested later. I kind of felt bad for them because they didn't have a leader anymore. But they did evil things. Shouldn't really feel bad for him. Actually, speaking of Sojo and his speed, like Sojo went 0 to 60 really quick there as he bolted off, didn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he is no slouch when it comes to speed. I mean, I say Shisha had already left probably like 30 minutes to maybe close to 40 minutes before he left, and Sojiro still managed to get in front of him, like right as she was coming up, well, with his girlfriend at a crossing on their horse.
Yeah, he's just a prodigy in general. He practically left a sonic boom behind when he took off.
Supersonic speed. Uh, no, I'm not proud of myself. How dare you assume that? Um,
The famed Kotetsu is one of the 31 greatest swords. It's one of a kind any master swordman would desperately want it. That's the sword that Kenshin ruined.
that's what Shisho said, right?
Yeah.
Good lord. I mean, just typing in
Actually,
Kotetsu into Google,
technically his woman said it.
huh?
Technically his woman said it, and I don't think she has a name so far.
She's probably got one. She's pretty much like won't let go of him. Um, I just typed in Kotetsu because I was like, maybe hoping to get some information about a sword of any kind. Um, what I got, I'm not shocked by. The name Kotetsu, at least from the looks of it, even any different spelling of it. Um, there's a lot. Like there's a fictional character. There was a couple of fictional characters. I don't know where this. Wait, is that from that Kamen Rider show? Yes, that is. I don't know anything about that show. But it looks like there's a character in Bleach goes by that name. Not that it really means anything. It's just kind of interesting that I typed that name in. Demon Slayer is a character that goes by that name. There's a character in Naruto that goes by that name. There's a woman in Bleach. Oh, hello. That's interesting. Is that a real person? So there's somebody called Nagasone, I think is how you pronounce it, Kotetsu. Apparently was born Oke Sato. Was a Japanese sword maker of the early Edo period. His father was an armorer who served Ishida Mitsunari, the lord of Sawayama. That's a lot of words here. However, as Ishida was defeated by Tokugawa Ieyasu at the Battle of Sekigahara, the Nagasone family and some of the craftsmen from Sawayama went to, again, a lot of words. It's just in, I'm butchering all this, province where they took refuge in Fuku City. Apparently, he was a popular swordsmith, so what you said about that sword tracks. Oh, Kotetsu's swords were known for their great strength and their ability to cut through helmets. However, Kotetsu's swords were often faked. And they were so well faked that even Kotetsu himself is said to have not been able to tell the difference. So apparently these swords are so popular that people make counterfeits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, apparently like people really like this family's swords. Like they like the being made. Apparently they were just popping up that people were faking them. Apparently, because he couldn't tell. I guess he put signatures on them to be able to tell which is his. I guess. Though apparently he's been said to say this blade is mine, but the signature is not. Records exist which state that Nagasone Kotetsu only forged 31 swords bearing the name. There are, however, other records which directly dispute this, with Nihon, Nihonto Meiken showing 50 different Mei or signatures for. What? So basically, from like, I mean, just from that information, that sword is really freaking popular, and I'm guessing the sword maker is very sought after. And Kenshin broke one of them. I'm willing to bet the sword he broke wasn't real. And maybe that's why Shisho didn't seem all that concerned by it. But we're gonna go on I'm gonna go on the limb said that it was real and Kenshin was just that strong.
Yeah, I think so. And precise too, I'm sure.
Well, again, I'm telling you that they had that sword strike had a follow through, and it reverberated through the ages. That's why that sword broke. It's still vibrating to this day. You can hear it if you listen very closely.
Oh my god.
Sorry, I had to. Um,
You
yeah.
made it
So,
into a myth.
hmm?
You made it into a myth.
Uh, wait, there's Kotetsu too. Wait, excuse me. I'm sorry, this is a rabbit hole I need to stop diving into. Uh, so like after Shojuro leaves, as we after Shojuro leaves, we have this little kid who I don't know his name. I know he say his name. He points his dead brother's sword at the body of Senkaku because he realizes he's still breathing, and he gets agitated by that, and he's about to go strike him at his neck, and then Kenshin, being the responsible adult he is, no, just kidding. Well, being the not killing man he is, stops him. Pretty much tells him like don't become a man that lashes out in vengeance. Don't use these hands that are little right now to be pretty much be a murderer. Be a better person when you get older. And pretty much that stops him, and he starts crying. Letting out all his anger and vengeance. Well, actually, no correction. I do remember Kenshin talking to him. Oh yeah, Saito stops him first, and then he doesn't care what Saito says because Saito says he's gonna torture him, and he's about to strike him, and that's when Kenshin gets in and stops him.
But Kenshin has no problem with the police taking them off and torturing and killing them.
Well, I don't think Saito's gonna kill him. He says Saito makes mention that torture is much more.
He mentions the gallows. They'll be to the gallows with him.
But I know with gallows typically you're supposed to mean, but I hold up 1 minute. I want to say there's like multiple.
It doesn't have like a second meaning of like feed them toast or something. Like the gallows is a big deal. Although I can't imagine they'd have a gallows big enough for that guy.
Structure typically have two uprights and a cross piece for hanging criminals. Execution by hanging. Did they really hang him?
It'd be awfully difficult.
The guy is as big as Goliath. Why my voice changed?
They'd have to like construct like a special gallows just to hang him. That would only be work for him.
Well, I feel like Saito could use the gallows as a way to torture him.
No, gallows is a way to kill somebody.
I think he could use it to torture him.
I think there's a lot better ways to try to torture somebody than the gallows.
I don't think Sato cares. He made mention that, he wanted to torture him. Make him
I
like
think
regret.
torture and then the gallows is what was implied. Torture and interrogate him for information, and then the gallows.
I'm gonna choose to believe that he's much more cruel than that. Because
There's much
it helps my
cruel
canon.
ways,
What?
there's much more cruel ways to torture somebody than the gallows. That's just sort of an awkward way. Like you could theoretically torture somebody by like strangulation or something like that, but like there's a lot better ways to torture somebody than you trying to like use the gallows for it.
No, I know I hear you, but I'm choosing it for my own headcanon.
Okay.
I hear you. I really do. I looked up the gallows. I know what they're used for. I know it's all about hanging. I'm just saying that I choose to believe that Saito is more vindictive than that. I suspect that he is. Saito has proven to this point that he doesn't care. So, to me, he's like, okay, he could probably find a way to use it to torture him. And it'd probably be more effective than, say, regular torture. Because, again, that guy is huge. I can't imagine waterboarding is going to work on him. But, we come back to Shisho's gang, and he's like, he meets Sojiro. Sojiro hands him his sword back, and he's like, I didn't do this. You're not gonna blame me. He's like, he just looks at the sword, and I believe this is like when Shisho brings up like the call the 10 swords. I forgot the name of the group, like the 10 swords or whatever, because he's gonna use them to, I guess, bring Kenshin back to his manslayer mode. Because he knows that Kenshin, which is really weird, because he knows Kenshin's not going to be able to defeat him with the way he is right now. Why bother trying to wake that part of him up again? Seems kind of counterproductive. So let me see if there's anything he said that was more concrete about that. Wait a minute. I think maybe he just wants to fight Kenshin. I want to drag out the Hitakari Batosai that's been trapped in him, within Kenshin Himura, even if by force. I guess he just wants to fight that guy. He doesn't want to fight Kenshin. Which I love the distinction, but that it seems like a lot of these characters.
It piqued his curiosity.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody has curiosity. I do love the distinction that is being drawn between who Kenshin is and who the Batosai is. It's like kind of a scary thought when you really think about it. They want to unleash that man. They don't want to fight Kenshin, but they want to fight the other guy.
The monster within.
Yeah, basically, it's like I love that there's this distinction that's being drawn in the sand. It's like, you're not him. I want to fight him. I want to fight the guy. You're like, but the guy is asleep. Wake him up. What's the name of the swords that he told? I want to see. Can actually get. I mean, I'm almost certain we'll get the name later, but it'd be nice to have it now. Oh, wait a minute. That's the name that I just used. I really did not realize Nagasone Kotetsu was actually in the anime. They actually used the name and they named it the sword. Okay. That's nice. I did not know they did that. That name is literally the name of the guy who makes the swords. That is. I was wondering if that was any historical, I was speaking historical, I guess, information that they decided to let us know, the viewer. We'll get to that in a minute. It's involving Saito himself. And I got a question for you if you can actually answer it.
I probably can't.
Damn it.
You can ask though.
I get to the minute. It's kind of dumb, but I kind of just need to know if you can actually answer it. But basically, information about telling me that you can't. Like, okay, dang it.
Ask me the question.
No, I mean they just bring up when the little kid Saito is gonna like have this little kid being taken care of by his wife, and they make mention in the episode that this is historically accurate, that this man had a wife. I was like, when he actually answered that, does that man in the real world, was he married? I don't think you can.
I want to know what that little box that had Japanese characters in it
That
was
was
saying.
historically accurate. That's what that was. It was historically accurate. That's what that stamp was.
Oh, okay.
Basically, what they're saying is that the character he's based off is supposedly had a wife. I'm guessing, but I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't look into it, and I probably should have.
What's his name? I assume it's definitely historically accurate. What's his name again? Saito?
Yeah, Saito. I forgot his full name. There it is. Gather the ten. Oh, that's just that simple, really. The 10 swords of
Saito
Kyoto.
Hajime.
Hmm?
Saito Hajime.
Man, that's not the name of like the guy he's based off of, right?
Hang on. What did he say then his name was? The wife?
Oh
Tokyo.
crap! I forgot her name. Shoot. What?
Tokyo. Yeah, that was his spouse. His second wife.
Huh. Second wife, huh?
Uh-huh. They had 3 children together.
3 children. Dang. I just kind of came across a Reddit. Wait, where is it? Weird. I literally was reading something. Jeez, somebody literally here says I would totally wife him. Okay, so there are some women that would be into him. Okay, that I shouldn't be shocked that he's probably married, but at the same time, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that they decided to randomly throw in the anime just because you probably weren't expecting it. It's like, excuse what? Completely caught Kenshin off guard because Kenshin's like, wait, you actually found somebody? I was reading source like, of course he would have a wife because he's got a job and everything. I was like, Kitchen's a bum. I was like, you know what? I guess they're not wrong. Kenshin is kind of a bum.
Fujita's Saito's heavy drinking was believed to have contributed to his death from a stomach ulcer. He died in 1915 at age 72, sitting in Seiza, which is like a kneeling, like on his knees, sitting up in his living room. Upon his will, he was buried at Amadaji.
Hmm.
Aizu Wakamatsu, Fukushima, Japan.
Gesundheit.
Really?
Sorry. Sorry. Interesting. Hmm. I wonder if his barrel plot's still out there. I would think it would be, considering Japan's very particular about that kind of thing and preserving things. Though I'm pretty sure nobody visits it because I'm pretty sure anybody that ever related to him is like much removed. They probably don't even know he's in their family tree.
Yeah. And he was a police officer.
I mean, regardless, like, I mean, the guys are pretty like, I mean, whoever whoever would be descended from him probably wouldn't know, even if he was a police officer, because, like, I mean, the police at the time, police were like a loose concept anyway. I mean, not like they're not a loose concept nowadays, but like they were even a looser concept back then. Died having a drink. I'm pretty sure that's the way he wanted to go.
Sitting out.
Completely intoxicated. But see, after that, after Shoujo has been told to go gather the 10 swords of Kyoto, that was a lot more profound name. We come back to Senkaku's men, and they're all tied up, and Senkaku is now being wheeled away on a giant whale bed. He must still be out because I'd be surprised. I'm surprised that that is keeping him tied down. Again, as a large man too, like good gracious. And it looks like Sengetsu Village is back to normal, at least for normal as they can be. I mean, they still got to worry about. Like, probably Saito, everybody knows where everybody stands now and stuff like that. Like, there's gonna be healing to be done. I think this kid's name gets dropped here. I could be completely wrong. It'd be interesting if this kid becomes Saito's Yahiko.
The kid's name is
E.G.
Eiji.
Yeah, but E.G. But, like, what if he were to. This is like a long shot. I know just pro when that happened. But it'd be funny, like, because I mean, him and Yahiko kind of share some, like, personality quirks. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting if huh?
they do.
It'd be interesting if he became Saito's Yahiko. He's already got a Karo, so I mean, I don't know why I find that funny, but I find it hilarious. I shouldn't find it as funny as I do. Actually, interesting enough. So, like, when you think about holding the sword right during this time period, like how would you imagine, like, you would have the hilt pointing forward, right, with the blade pointing backwards behind you.
Okay.
Do you see Saito's blade? It's the complete opposite.
The hill points backwards.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to a scene where I can see that.
I mean, I have it on the stream for you to look at.
It's too small. I can't get a good look at it there.
Okay. Um, 1631, I think.
Yeah, that's a weird direction for the hilt to be pointed.
I get that he's like a almost like a fencer, so he stabs you. So I guess like that would be the optimal way to do it, because like he can pull his sword back and immediately lunge forward. So I guess optimally speaking, that's the right way for his sword, but I never seen anybody hold their sword like that before. That's actually kind of interesting to me. I wonder if that's historically accurate. It probably ain't, but it'd be funny if it was.
Yeah,
But yeah, after like EG, like Saito says he's gonna leave EG with his wife, and that completely catches Misao and Kenshin off guard. I'm pretty sure they caught Kenshin off guard really bad. Takayo, because like he's married. Just the response. Like this is so weird. Like the animation style. I don't praise this show enough for the animation, but my goodness, this is freaking amazing. Just the giant eyes, the more defined lines. Well, not defined. I guess less defined lines here. More anime here versus Saito, who's like, "Yeah, I'm married. What of it?" Wow, these two are like, "You're married?" The humor sometimes does not miss. Um, yeah, they imagine, at least Misao imagines that Takeo is like I guess some god or something for dealing with Saito. What I thought was interesting, like I guess like Saito, like I guess Saito's a little more complicated than you'd think he would be.
yeah, for
And
sure.
and then as before Saito leaves, um, brings me this
He
comment of
kind of
like,
saved the kid's
hmm,
life. He saved the kid's life by having him stopping him from killing the guy too.
that's true.
So he's taken kind of a shine to this kid.
I wonder how old is he? Is he the same age as Yayako?
Probably not far. He strikes me as a little younger.
Yeah, he could be. Nothing, no reason why he wouldn't be. It just dawned on me because like when I was watching this, I was like, man, he's surprisingly like. And it only dawned on me after everything kind of went down, but he's surprisingly a little bit like Yayako. It's kind of weird. Like it's done this on purpose. But Prince EG, bows and thanks Kenshin, and he walks off, asking Saito later that he wants to go and take a visit to some place really quick. He says he is his brother to go and put the sword back in his grave. But Saito brings up that you need to go and you need to get you need to get another sword. And Kenshin's like, so Kenshin's like, I got a guy. I guess he's gonna go to somebody in Kyoto. I'm guessing he might know somebody in Kyoto who he probably hasn't seen in a while. I'm guessing. You brought up earlier, asked the question like, is he gonna get a revenge or not? I think he's gonna get his Sakabutter reforged. I think he's very keen on not killing anybody, or using the reverse blade to make it less easy for him to kill somebody. But I don't suspect he's gonna get like a revenge sword. I guess speaking of characters, and Misao trying to like I guess cheer up Kenshin. He's like, I don't think of you any different, and Kenshin's just like, I don't care what you think of me. I was like, hmm. Again, it kind of just like peers into. I guess I've always like Hmm?
Surprised me, but then it turned out to be supposedly a joke.
I don't know. I don't know how much of that's a joke or really truth. There's probably some half truths and half lies in that. I'm pretty
It
sure
was
Kitchen
kind of
doesn't really care, huh?
out of character either way. It was out of character for him a little.
I don't know. I mean, like up to this point, we've known Kenshin. He doesn't view himself as a saint. And on top of that, at least from what I can tell, I don't think he thinks of himself any different than most swordsmen. Because anytime he talks about that, the way of the swords going away, he kind of gets this like really depressed look in his face. Like he may have given up killing, but maybe it wasn't that he enjoyed it, but it was one of those things like it's something that he was good at, and now like the one thing he was good at, he's no longer doing. I guess I don't know. I was probably thinking about that later. It's kind of interesting because Kenshin strikes me as he doesn't think of himself any better than anybody.
Right.
The whole joking thing aside is like it kind of gets on Misao, and she decides to give him a kick and then gives him a shit biscuit, which again these biscuits are round.
Oh, the delicious shit biscuit.
Better than a biscuit. Okay, I think I'm proud of that one. I shouldn't be, but okay.
You're quite proud of yourself.
No, I'm not. Never am. Okay. But he gives him some food, and they start eating as they're um heading back, heading on, continuing their road to oh, Caesar warning, continuing the road to Kyoto. I didn't realize he said this, but apparently, like, must I become the Hitakari once again? Question mark. So he's questioning whether he'll need to, dig into that part of his brain again. Which is interesting that now he's pondering that himself.
Yeah. That's why I said it seemed like he's at a crossroad about like with his sword, like what's his next sword going to be? Is it going to be a sharp one or is it going to be
It's gonna be a dull one, because like here's the thing. Back when Kenshin first converted over to Hitakari, well, second time I mean, when he converted over to Hitakari the second time when he met Saito, if you didn't notice, Kenshin's blade switched over. He turned it over. I don't think he's gonna do that because it would make it too easy probably for him to cut somebody and kill somebody if he were to switch over. So maybe if he isn't trying to, I suspect maybe what's gonna happen at some point, it's gonna become too easy for him to switch over back over to being that guy again. Maybe. Um, he does not want to make it easier for that personality switch to kill somebody. In either way, it's like I don't think he's gonna do it. He's gonna probably keep his reverse sword, but like and keep the sharp side, where it's at. Regardless, though, he'll just switch it over and he'll just start swiping with that side. It doesn't seem to hinder him at all. You think it would, but it doesn't. Speculation. All speculation.
this dude's never finishing Saito never finishes his cigarettes.
Well, I mean, in this case, it was kind of like symbolic, as he was like, puffing one out for the guy. The guy he sent out here that got killed.
Yeah.
Like he felt bad. I didn't expect him to do that though, so it's clear that he definitely felt bad. And maybe that's why he's taking on his younger brother, maybe just to make things right, I guess.
Yeah. Plus, I just realized that in the history, the original guy adopted a boy later in his life.
Oh, the actual guy he was based off of?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask that, but I didn't bother. I completely forgot to ask. Oh. Huh. Maybe I wasn't too far off with the whole him that being his Yahiko. I mean, the kid does call him master, but then Saito says, "Don't call me master." I was like, interesting. And then really quick before we leave off here, the end credit scene that I actually, thank goodness I caught this when I did.
It's quite long.
That's what she said. Dang it. But since we're brought back to Tokyo, and we're at the restaurant that Sanosuke usually frequents and steals food. Uh, the girl who I completely forgot her name. I'm gonna call that Yahiko's girlfriend for right now because I do not know her name. Uh, we see her like greeting, sending people off after if they're eating their meal. Then the owner, she's like it. She's like I guess a little bit sad. And she brings up like it just doesn't feel right. Everybody's paid their tab. I'm like, that's when you made it. I mean, like you don't show up and somebody notices that everybody paid their tab. That's when you've made an impression. But she knows everybody paid her tab, and she's like wondering where Sanosuke is, and wonder if he's on his way to Tokyo. And then as like everything in anime, that is our cue to jump to Sanosuke, who we haven't seen in a bit, and he's in the woods wondering where he's at.
Got a nice little like clover or something in his mouth. The next episode is Encounter in the Forest, so it's probably Sanosuke.
I suspect it's Sanosuke. It's about Sanosuke, and I think something that I told you before, and it's something I'm expecting. I've been expecting for a while. Just something that's supposed to come up involving him. I was wondering how long we were gonna have to wait for it. I still don't know this is gonna be it or not. I don't know how they're doing things, and I don't remember. I don't remember what I'm expecting where it comes up. I do. There's something like really cool that I find cool that happens to him, and it's like, I'm trying not to hype this up, but I think I'm inadvertently hyping it up. I don't mean that. I'm sorry. Don't take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. Like I remember something, so it's like it's cool that okay. I think this is our hint that's gonna happen. I found it interesting too. I forgot to bring this up when we had this situation with Sanosuke before when he was like punching trees and then using his compass that apparently was really bad at pointing him in the right direction. Um, I always forgot there typically characters like him in terms of like direction always seem to get lost. It's like a common trope with them is like they don't have good direction. Like they get lost really easily, but they somehow always manage to make it to their destination. So it's like it's freaking it's just funny like that they're kind of incorporating that him with him here where he doesn't really good sense of direction, but he'll get to his destination eventually. When and where I don't know, but he'll meet up with Kenshin eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in the woods lost and he's like wondering where he's at. Yeah, this episode's already called Encounter in the Forest. This is a good episode altogether. I really
I
enjoyed
liked
it.
this one.
Hmm?
It was a better than average episode for sure.
Like I suspect
It
that
it was kind of packed too. There was a lot going on in this episode. Given like if you take the overarching plot and you're just like Kenshin comes in and has just finished defeating one of his minions and is demanding a rematch. He's denied a rematch and told to spar with one of his other minions. They clash briefly and break their weapons and call it a tie. And then the child is adopted by what is his name?
Saito.
Psycho? Saito, thank you. Saito and everybody parts ways. Like you could summarize the whole episode with just that. But I don't know, it just felt very packed. Anyway, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciated that there was a lot going on and a lot of depth to everything, and even a little bit of history to research for once. Very rewarding history when you research it too. You know what I mean? Because it's like very interesting, like the little additional fact that he had adopted a son later. You know what I mean? After he'd had his own children, that's kind of fun to find out.
I know, yeah, it didn't. I guess I shouldn't have, like, yeah, that's really fun to find out. I got part of me was like, I guess I shouldn't be shocked that he had a wife, but it's still shocking that he has a wife.
Well, he seems to do everything. He seems to be kind of a loner.
That is true. I mean, that's probably a part of like really what makes that shocking is like, well, he found love somewhere, and he leaves her on her own. She must be a saint dealing with him, so and he's planning to leave Ichi with her because he's positive that he'll be fine with her. So I highly doubt that we'll see her though. Like my suspicion is that we only get a name and that's it. If we do see her again, that'd be interesting. I don't know where. Like, I wonder where she's staying. Did he ever say where she was staying? I don't think that ever came up. I guess she must be nearby if he brought up that he's going to take it to his wife. But yeah, like he's got a chance to know a little bit more of Saito, and he's actually not as bad as you think he would be, which is interesting in its own way. So yeah, that's that. Good episode. I guess also to wrap up really quick, I was saying something about Dragon Ball Daima. I forgot what I was. I was on a tangent there, and I completely forgot what tangent I was on. Diamond, good to good. I guess episodes are really good so far. Stone Trust Glorio. You may think I'm like overthinking it. I don't. Still don't know. Uh, well, actually, about the Dragon Balls, those things being the first ones is kind of interesting. Don't you think?
Being the first ones, yeah, if they really are, but they seem to be. I wondered about the planet-sized universal Dragon Balls if they weren't the first.
Well, those don't exist right now in the canonicity of where we are in the show's timeline. Those don't exist yet. Well, actually, no, I take that back. They exist, but they don't know about them, so I don't.
Yeah, I was wondering if those might be the first Dragon Balls, and they just don't realize it or something.
I don't know how that'd be possible because, like, isn't each Dragon Ball, isn't each one of those Dragon Balls hidden in different universes?
Because the idea was that the other Dragon Balls were chips off of that big, the planet-sized Dragon Balls.
No, I get all that, but I was saying, I don't know. Well, I guess they still could be the first, even if they are split amongst the universes. I wonder. Can I look that up really quick?
Yeah.
These Super Dragon Balls are a set of 7 planet-sized Dragon Balls created by the Dragon God Zamala, and the first known set of Dragon Balls to be created, predating the creation of the Namekian Dragon Balls. They said they were created by Zamala. It was a dragon that they summoned when they summoned from the Super Dragon Balls. Okay. I also forgot how silly this is. Apparently, the phrase they use to summon Super Shinron or Zamala is "Come forth, dragon of the gods, and grant my wish, pretty peas."
I remember that.
I forgot how silly that was. Oh, and they scatter between universes 6 and 7. I thought they scattered throughout all universes.
No. 6 and 7 are the only two universes that have Namekians, too. That we know of.
Huh. Huh. Still does like that makes I mean the whole idea that Namekians come from the Daima realm or demon realm, that still tracks. But that's right, because they said that the code system wasn't implemented until after everybody started trying to leave the demon realm. And they made that so that way not everybody can leave. I mean, I wonder how many other races escaped. There was the Majins that escaped from we can tell, and also the Mechans, but I'm pretty sure others got out too. Hmm. Wait a minute, see here, Consecration. The Legend of a Dragon, a stories tell a Master Roshi of how the Earth Dragon Balls was once one huge Dragon Ball, which was split into the 7. Like by coincidence, this tale is similar to how the different sets of Dragon Balls were created from the pieces of the massive Super Dragon Ball. I wonder if Piccolo has more memories than he thinks he does.
Or then he admits openly that he does.
That true. That true.
And he keeps to himself a lot of the stuff that he knows. So,
And on top of that, if he didn't know before he fused with Kami, I'm pretty sure he got a lot of his memories back. Because wasn't that the whole deal? Was that when he and Kami fused, they would never be able to unfuse again anyway, and they just become a whole new being?
yeah.
They referred to him as Kamikolo? What the heck? Oh, that's by Goku.
When he first merges with Kami.
I forgot about that. They gave him the nickname. Okay. I mean, we did read that he's apparently some really weird hybrid. So yeah, maybe he knows more than he's letting on. It makes me wonder something. Like, would Piccolo receive some type of power up if he were to enter the demon realm again? I know it'd be stupid, but it'd be one of those really weird. But there's a chance to make Piccolo really strong here, even if it is only temporary. Or better yet, they could really take an opportunity to really foreshadow Orange Piccolo.
if they feel like doing that.
But this is a golden opportunity, though. No, I know they don't have to take it, but this is like a really golden opportunity for it. Like they don't even have to really do much. Just well, I'm gonna end the podcast here because we keep talking this forever. We're at 2 hours now. Thank you guys for stopping by for the podcast. Whoever's actually listening to this now in the future.
Hey, to
Um,
our Brazil viewer,
yes, that Brazilian viewer, and we'll come back next week. Um, actually, by that time this podcast episode comes out, the election would have been over. So I hope for the best in the American election.